Right, so we've got this really super rad RX7 in. It's like your quintessential 80s Japanese RX7. It's a little bit rough around the edges, I will say that. There's quite a bit of damage on it, but I think you know, it'll go with that whole 80s vibe. Just what? All right over there. This is working from home attire.
It's comfy.
It is comfy. I'm not wearing it, but I'm sure it's comfy. Anyway, let's crack on with this. We're going to get this cleaned up. It's got like a Valvoline livery bin put on it, so yeah, it should look really cool when it's done. Let me spin the camera. All right, so yeah, there's a few bodywork issues on it. I think Grant was saying, you know, he didn't want to go too mad with it. He wanted to use it. Obviously, it's fully caged. It's still running rotary, which is really sick. Yeah, it's fully caged. Like it's a track car, basically. But yeah, just going to look really rad. So there's a Valvoline livery going on. So you've got the 2 or 3 stripes here, big logo on the bonnet, Mazda across here. And then I've got to do like cutting tape, which kind of run down here, and then the blue stripe comes round. So yeah, it should look super retro when it's done. Very cool. So we've got this one in for today and tomorrow. Should have that one finished. There's not an absolute ton going on it, so it should be within boundaries to do in a couple of days. As soon as this one's done, we've got the Lamborghini Huracan to do, GT3 car. This is Richard Wheeler's. So full carbon Kevlar car this is. Not Kevlar, sorry, full carbon fibre car. So underneath this wrap, all the panels are carbon. But yeah, this should be a really cool one as well. This will be the next video. But very cool. Super race. Yeah, this one's going white actually, funny enough. So this one's going full white with like a blue stripe. It's to match his Fiestas actually. To match a Lamborghini to Fiestas, but yeah, this is going to match his Fiesta race cars. So yeah, pretty rad. Dude, love a bit of carbon fibre. Nice. Anyway, going to clean this up and we'll start tonight. That's my handy helper ready to go in a fitting attire. You're in your Crocs though, so still ultimate comfort. Oh yeah, boy. Cheers. Right, let's crack on with this. Right, yeah, so basically I've just had a call with Adam, who was doing the design on this. Initially we had like the dark blue section running down here, and then it was tapering off onto like a point to here. But obviously from the front, that line carries on round and goes round the headlight there, which we said, like, you know, it's not really going to work. So what we're going to do is fill this whole panel here up to this swage line that runs around. We're going to do all that, the dark blue that runs all the way up to there, all the way down here, and then it cuts off and there's a design at the back there. And then we're going to do a thicker line which runs from here in light blue, and that's going to run all the way down, and that's going to finish to this point here. So as you look up the car, it's going to go kind of like that, up straight, and then literally just curve off into a thicker line. So yeah, I think that's going to look really smart actually. But yeah, right, let's get cracking. Excuse the state of my work desk, it's a bit messy. But yeah, anyway, we're just starting to cut obviously all these. So these are the files. This is what we've got from Adam. This is the rough kind of layout. Obviously this front bit, like I said on the last bit of the video, that bit is going to change. We're going to make that kind of fit in with the curve of the body. So that should be pretty cool. But yeah, basically we've got all these little logos that run down the skirts. This is how the file comes over to us. Adam's always supplies really nice vector PDFs, which are perfect for what we do. It just means you wouldn't believe the amount of times we get stuff from designers where like this is just like blurry JPEG images, and they don't really understand the process of laying vinyls, where all of these, you know, they're all vectored PDFs. You've got a cut line to actually, you know, edit stuff and bits and pieces like that. So yeah, anyway, so that's there. It takes a little while to go from this process to cutting, because obviously it's not printed. All of this is cut vinyl, so we've got the blue, the reds, the light blues. So yeah, so that when we have to split it all up into its sections, so I'm just making sure we got everything, like what colours I'm going to lay on top of what. You know, it just means that you can stack stuff and cut stuff as and when you need it like that. And it also means if anything gets damaged in future, you know, if he damages this on the side, he can ring me up and say, oh, Craig, can you cut me a Mazda for the side? And I'm like, yeah, no worries. So they're all stacked up, ready to go. But yeah, couple of hours cutting and then another couple of hours weed and we should be at the process of laying up. But yeah, we'll get there. Yeah, so obviously this comes off the plotter in one hit like that. For anyone who doesn't know what we do or the process of actually doing it, we then have to weed it. So this is now cut. So what we'll do is on all of the liveries that we do, including all like the multi-layer liveries, all of these vinyls get cut like this. So you have to sit and you have to weed it out. I'm just going to quickly trim that down to show you. I won't weed everything because you won't want to see me weed the whole lot. But basically, we'll work from outside in and we'll take this and we will weed that out. So that Mazda logo there. Is like that. I mean, something like this is quite simple, but some of the liveries that we do where you've got all the tiny little pieces that come out, they can be a bit of a pain. But yeah, so basically we'll go along and we will pick out every single piece like this. Burnt myself on Matt's car the other day, so I'm just a little bit sore trying to weed. It's a bit of a nightmare. But there we go. So that's what we do. That's what we do on the lettering, and that's how it's kind of finished. And then what we do is put an application tape over the top and go from there. Right, okay, so I'm going to run the cutting tape down here now. I'll do that. I'll do this front piece first. So you've seen me use this stuff on other jobs. It just means you haven't got a cut on the vehicle, and if it's something that's a bit more awkward to cut on the plotter as in get the shape right, this stuff you can kind of tack where you want it and run down the swage line and kind of get it pretty much perfect where you want it with a little bit of messing around. If it ain't good, you can take it up and then move it where you want. Looks about right. This is the design line, so it's actually got a real nice curve to it. So as you can see, you can curve it around this edge here, and yeah, it'd be perfect. Sweet. Lovely jubbly. Oh, so that's the blue that's going to run down. Obviously, this material here is a Retrama range. It's like a 7-year polymeric. This isn't a wrap film. Obviously, it's not priced in as a wrap. This is just delivery. So there's no air release on it. There's nothing like that. It's just a straight 7-year polymeric. Really, it's just a nice sign vinyl, to be fair. But it does mean there's no air release or anything like that on it. So it goes down dry, and hopefully all right. There we go. One foul swoop. Obviously, as I showed you earlier in the video, this isn't the best bodywork on this. There's a lot of imperfections which show through the vinyl. There's nothing you can do about that. If you've got, you know, your vinyl will only stick down as well as what it's going on to. So, you know, it's not a miracle cure for bad bodywork. There you go. That's a nice and easy swoop. So, all the way down in one hit. we go, all the way down. So what we'll do is this one here, we'll pull that one through and cut that cutting tape off. So with cutting tape, you've obviously got like a wire in the middle, and as you pull it through, it leaves that wire, and that will cut all the way down the body. So that will go completely down the body, all the way down and round that shape at the front. And then it means you take this excess off. And then you're left with two little green bits. You pull that out. Get a bit of heat on that afterwards, make sure it's not going to lift. But that's your first cut edge coming round the front. Then the other ones, like I say, we'll just do it to the inside edge of that. Should look really, really good. Once the light blue goes on, it look mega. Right, so that's the finished stripe on that. I was gonna try tucking it down into this inside edge, but the paint is so rough in there. You can see it's starting to flake already. Look, there's some red flaking off in there, and that's just with it touching it. So yeah, I think this is gonna be a real to the edge jobby this. I'm not gonna be able to tuck edges or anything, which is a shame, but like I say, you can only deal with what you got, so yeah. Get a bit of heat on it. So normally I would tuck around all the way around inside these edges, but they're literally like sandpaper in there. I'm not going to be able to tuck around there at all, which is a shame. Which means, yeah, I mean that's crispy as anything. So what I'm going to have to do is finish it. I might have to do another cutting line along there, maybe, and just finish it along that inside edge and just go straight across the top. There's no way that's going to stick. Right, so that's on. Obviously, this edge here, as you can see in the video, let me look. That's all crispy paint in there. There's nothing I can do about that. I couldn't get that to stick back any more than I could. Like I said, you can only go down as well as what it's sticking to. And that is the other side that we haven't done yet. Yeah, look, as you can see, all of this is like been painted up to that seal. There's paint on the rubber there, but you're gonna see a bit of white showing all along here because that's paint on that seal. I can't wrap the vinyl onto that plastic, but yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, so I like to document this stuff just because, you know, someone goes to a show and they go, oh, bloody hell, look at that. Look how they finished that bit of wrap there. But sometimes you can't odds it. You can only do what you know, you don't do what you can do. But yeah, it should, once it's all done and it's all covered, all the logos on it, it'll look $1 million, you know. It's like it's definitely a 10-foot car, this, so. But yeah, it's a really cool car nonetheless. I love it. I've always loved these. It's like your quintessential Japanese car flying around the streets of Tokyo, or, you know, Yeah, oh, you just think it's sick and it's just so cool. But yeah, anyway. Right, let's crack on. Right, so what I've got on this bit now, I've got a logo, NGK logo that goes in here, but there's a red and a light blue that goes in here. So the red is on this side, and what I've done, I've cut it to lay over the top of the blue, and then the light blue goes over the top of that. It just means that you're not going to get any shrinkage in on the vinyl. But the only issue with it is that you've got to get this exactly bang on lined up before you lay it down. So that's the only issue. That's why we use clear application tape on stuff like this. But yeah, and then I'm going to take this off, this wiper arm off, this little grommet maybe if it comes off, but if not I'll have to cut around it, and then that blue is going to come up onto here, red, blue, darker blue, and then I'll have to trim out all these little vents, which will be fun. But yeah, let's give this a quick go. So precise. So it's looking good there. So now I've got that where I want it, I'll just hold the pressure on, and then I'll just squeegee from this part down so nothing moves. So that bit's perfect. I can see it's running over just slightly, so I'll take that up and then give it a little twist, and that should go down where I want it. That's it, lovely. Nice. There we go. perfect. Little bubble. I think that's Like I said, normally I'll tuck round, but it's so crispy the paint on this that it's never going to stick. So that's the blue, that's the red on the blue, so then we've got the light blue to go on top of that. But yeah, as you can see, no edges, fully on. I don't know why it looks very, very dark in here on this picture, but it's not. It's actually quite lighter than that, but I think it's my camera. Right, we'll get the Dunlop on, and then yeah, it should all look good. Right, so what I've done is, on this logo, for example, and also like the Valvoline logo, inside the NGK logo on the rear, initially the design was sent over with like a white to stick over the top. So what I've done is instead I've cut that out completely of the red, just so this isn't so stark white, because now that white is obviously the paint colour rather than a vinyl colour. Because as you would have looked at this car, everything would have been like a creamy white, and then that would have been like a blooming fluoro white. So yeah, so all of this stuff has been done like that. Even like the Mazda is all cut out, so the white is obviously the white of the vehicle. It's awkward on this bit actually, because obviously the design runs off the arch, so this will be cut here. The bottom of the letters will be cut out, but as you can see, the swage line runs pretty straight, and then it goes and dips off, but this one is straight, so no matter what you do, it's going to look a little bit pissed somewhere. So I think kind of doing it by eye and making it run there is pretty much where it wants to be, is what I think. Obviously I'm the one doing it, so that's where it's going to stay, but yeah, I mean this blue bit here carries on here, and it's like split, so that way actually, so it's split like that. So there's white gaps in between the blue, and then there's a little light bit of blue that comes over the top. So yeah, I think it's gonna look rad when it's done. But it's yeah, just a lot of messing around. It's more time consuming. I say liveries like this, the money doesn't really equate to the vinyls, if that makes sense. Like, you know, the amount of vinyl you use isn't tons of meterage, but the cutting, the prepping, and also the you know, the messing around trying to get stuff right, even though, you know, the body's quite bad, you've still got to try and lay the vinyl down properly. So yeah, it's gonna look rad, but it's gonna look super retro. I mean, it's first out in his retro ride, so it's kind of fitting, but yeah, just a lot of fanning about. Right, anyway, let's crack on. Right, okay, so I've started the other side pretty much there on the other side. I've still got to put the light blue strip that goes up here, and there's still got the blue striping that goes on the back quarter, but it's looking, let me open this door actually. Looking absolutely rad. So I've still got the blue and the black to go on the Valvoline logos on the sides. Light blue strips down there. But yeah, it's looking pretty darn cool. Oh yes. Yeah, this bit, I'll say this bit of blue comes up here with white lines in between, then a light blue. And then the light blue runs all the way down there. So yeah, it's gonna look amazing when it's done. And obviously I've still got to cover the bits behind the vents there. But yeah, right, on to the other side. so I'll quickly lay this this down. Now, a lot of people ask me why I do cut vinyls a lot, when it'd be easier, like this bottom stripe here, would have been easier just to digital print in one piece. Yeah, it would have been easier to print in one piece, but the problem is, I just don't think you get the vivid colours. Like, print colours are okay, don't get me wrong, like some full digital print wraps look amazing, but I just don't think on something like this, where it's more of an old school thing, I just think the colours need to be vibrant like paint, and I just don't think that always happens with printed stuff. So yeah, that's why I use a lot of cut vinyls and a lot of liveries that I do, just to get the vivid colours. Plus, I just think it's more old school. Like it kind of goes with the whole theme, and you know, the layered stickers. I just like doing them. I just enjoy doing it. I think it's a bit more of an art form, laying stuff down like this, cutting, prepping it, you know, than just printing something and slapping it on. For me, it's just not what I do. So, you know, that's not taken away from anyone that does do printed stuff. That's great, but that's you know, it's just down to them really what they want to do. For me, like that there, you know, if that was printed, this white would have been a stark white. This wouldn't have been as vibrant red. It just would have been like a, you know, a print tone red. And yeah, you know, that would have been slapped on in one piece, but I just think this looks far, far cooler. 100% cooler. So yeah, I'll get this and like I said, there's a bit more of an art form to it as well. You know, you're multi-layering stuff. You're making sure it's all perfect and correct. And as soon as the colours start to lay up on top of each other, it starts looking amazing. So. There we go. Don't get any better than that. All right, so we're very nearly there. So as I was saying earlier in the video, where this swage line actually runs downhill, when you've got this one that runs all the way along, obviously these dip up ever so slightly off the swage line. So if you see there, that's like that, that's running straight. So this one comes up like that. But it doesn't actually look bad because obviously it runs dead in line with the Mazda then. So yeah, that's the finished part on this section here. I've just got this colour to go down there. But yeah, it's looking super, super rad. Very, very old school. We've got a sun visor as well to do, which is going to be in this darker blue. But yeah, sun visor can be like that with a white Mazda. Yeah, and we've got a little Mazda Racing in grey to go here as well. So yeah, it's looking badass. Right, ladies and gents, well, it's 11 o'clock at night. Well, near enough, half 11 actually. I just finished the Mazda. Looks absolutely nuts. I'll spin the camera around and show you. Looks absolutely rad. So cool. Yeah, them lines look so good with a 2. Very smart. Yeah, so that's it, finished. Looking really, really good. I'll post some pictures on the socials and stuff. I'm sure there'll be pictures at Retro Rides from next weekend. But yeah, one very, very cool looking Mazda rx7. But yeah, it's super, super cool in here as well, because obviously it's actually a race car. So You know, it's fully caged, stuff like that. It's just really cool to see. You don't often see old school JT and stuff like this just absolutely being used still. So yeah, it's cool. Tomorrow I'll try and pop the bonnet and get it started. It's still running rotary as well, which is just sick. It sounds sick. So it's 11:30 at night, and I'm not starting this rotary at night. So yeah. No, it'd be very, very cool. I can't wait to see it out and about. Actually, one of my favourites. Good morning, ladies and gents. So finished obviously the Mazda last night, as you saw, but yeah, it is looking rad. I'll spin this camera out. I'll show you the engine. Absolutely sick. Yeah, still rotary on carbs as well. Look at that, badass. I do love a rotary, I must say. Very, very cool indeed. Alright, mate Bill's come and picked it up for what's it called? Grant, isn't it? Yeah, Grant. Picked it up for Grant. So yeah, just on the way back now. So that's the end. That's the end of this one. Looks absolutely rad. So I don't know, man. There's something about race cars on the back of a truck. Looks sick, man. They just look cool. Yeah, no, very, very cool. Yeah. Sick. Right, another job done. Right.